Greetings, groovy people! Welcome to my channel. I am the self-proclaimed Blue Dragon. This is a Friday night video. And what is the title? We don't know. I don't know what I'm doing yet. Actually, I do know. I think... Look at me. I don't even know what the heck I'm talking about. So, this week I am going to be coloring a fan art page that I created a while back. Because... I'm just gonna stick to something that I know better, because last week, word of the week was hot mess. I really messed up on my video. I had to take it down. Explanation is in last week's video. I did end up recording the audio, or re-recording the audio and having to time-lapse it, but this week it's not going to be time-lapsed. If you want the explanation for last week, go ahead and check out the video, please. I'll talk a little bit about, I didn't get a chance to talk about what I was doing the week before and why I was such a mess. I was not prepared. I was kind of rushing around because we've been gone for an entire week. For good news. We went on vacation out east. My partner really needed a break. I needed a break. And so we were fortunate enough to be able to take a trip right before Labor Day. But while I got everything done for the week of the vacation, I didn't have enough time to prepare for the week following. And then we had some setbacks, so I was ill-prepared. But this week I am recording on Sunday. I am recording on the first day of the week. So if I make any mistakes, I will have time to fix it. And then I also have some other stuff that I need to catch up on. Just, work stuff for, like, the comic and Patreon and stuff like that. So I have a folder of traditional art that I've been wanting to sell, and I figured this series was going to be a good time for me to work on things like that. So one of my fan art pieces that I created, I didn't even finish it. I fixed this on the computer, but I'm thinking of going ahead and fixing up. This is Amethyst from Steven Universe. She's one of my favorite characters on that cartoon show. Oh my gosh, it's so good. I just watched the movie not that long ago. It was pretty good. It wasn't exactly what I thought it was going to be, but it was good. I liked it. And the songs were pretty good. I like some musicals. I like Fiddler on the Roof, and I like Hair and stuff like that, but I wouldn't call myself a big musical person. I say that, but then, I loved Camelot growing up, and yeah, maybe I am a musical person, and I just don't talk about it much. I don't know. But it was pretty good. I liked all the songs. They were pretty good. Apparently Chase the Rapper did a lot of the songwriting for it, and I don't listen to his music, but he was in this freaking amazing, just this hilarious movie called, what was it? It was about a Slice. It's a horror movie, but it's a smart horror movie. It's so funny. They used, this film was an independent film, and it was hilarious. We watched it at one of my Halloween parties a couple years back, and everyone just loved it. It was so funny. I'm gonna put a link to the, I'm gonna put an iCard link to the trailer for it. And actually, one of my former bosses, her son did some of the special effects for it, like the physical special effects, not the CGI, but the physical effects, kind of like, Ash versus the Evil Dead, or I guess just the Evil Dead, that kind of, the practical, visual effects. So I thought it was hilarious. This is actually what I'm going to be working on today. This is Garnet from Steven Universe, so I'm going to set her aside. This is just my folder of random things that I made. Well, this is old stuff. I don't know if this was for, some collaborations. Not real old. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to be coloring all of this or doing all of this stuff, but, I might be doing, I should do that, yeah, some of my own, well, that's not going to work, anyway, whatever. Oh, Che on Che, this is for a t-shirt, it is designed to be delightfully ironic, because, buying t-shirts would totally be what Che was about. That's sarcasm. I might do my Nico Girl, too. I kind of had fun with it. Oh, there's some other stuff I'm not going to show on here. That's completed work. Yeah, I did a video on that one. Here's a video iCard. I'll put that in there, or put it at the end or something like that. And then that one. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm keeping it safe. I'm going to stay talking about topics that are not too personal. Gosh. I got my music set up in the background. Not my music, it's museopen.org, you guys. Fair use music. I hope I'm recording. Yeah, I'm recording. Okay, good. Am I recording the audio? Let me make sure I'm recording the audio. I should have done this beforehand. Yeah. Okay, yeah, everything's recording. Okay. Queen of disorganization. Okay. So this is not the, well, this could be the paper I used. I don't know. I use 2 different types of marker paper, but I just like to use, when these empty out, I like to use them because they're perfect. Look, they're perfect for this because the paper usually has come out of it, so there's lots of room. So I need to get, oops, her head's not in the shot. Are her legs? Mm-hmm. Yeah, actually, that's not too bad, as long as I don't move things around. Keep it in, I've got my little things here, my little meters. What am I using today? I don't know, I might be using that. I gotta find out, those are India ink, but I gotta find out whether or not they're vegan. I've not had any time to look anything up, you guys. And again, most of you probably don't care, it's more for me and just to pass on information. There's some stuff. Ooh, I'm hoping I have enough Copics. I mean, can I do this? Can I do Garnet with just these few Copics? We're gonna find out today. And I may use whiteout. I don't know. When I use whiteout, I go specifically to the dollar store. Not sponsored. None of this is sponsored. I will have affiliate links. Affiliate links are not sponsored. It's just a way for me to, like, tell people what I'm doing, and if you happen to buy it, I may make some money, but so far, I don't think I've made any money off of it. Maybe 34 cents, which is fine. I'm just saying you don't get very much money back for the affiliate links, unless it's, like, an expensive thing, and my site's not usually, I mean, I think I had, like, I might suggest, like, some kind of, light box, which is kind of expensive, but I go to the dollar store because, do you see how this is the brush? This is the brush. It's not the foam tip that a lot of, like, if you go to a regular store, like Target or even Walmart, anywhere, you cannot find the brush, and I like the brush better because there are different special effects you can do with it. You can take it and, like, and, like, make, like, splatters or something like that if you wanted. I just like the brush. That's what I grew up with. I'm also drinking a Coke with sugar because I'm a snob and I like the glass bottle. Sorry. I don't like the plastic. You know how I feel about plastic, y'all. So I need to start. Oh, I just moved it. Moved her. Sorry, not it, her. I meant it as in the paper. I need to get a reference so that I know her colors. I mean, I know what colors she has, but I need to make sure that I got the right colors up. So let's type in Garnet. I probably used some kind of reference for this, but I wanted her to be doing something different than how you normally see her. Oh, I need to specify Steven Universe, I get. Oh, there's a gemstone called Garnet. Oh, duh, Ashleen. Blue, whatever I want to call myself. Oh, she's so cute. Oh my gosh, I just love Garnet. I guess this is the one. Yeah, okay, so that, wait a minute, which one did I do? Okay, I must not have done her first iteration. I might need some colored pencils for this. Oh no, they all fell out. Fudge, I am so messy. Oops. Okay. I dropped the microphone. Sorry, you guys. Oh, I need to shut my drawer. That's gonna drive me nuts. Not neat at all, but if that drawer's open, I'm gonna have a stroke. Okay. I don't know if I'm gonna use these. These are not, I'm not even gonna put these, I don't think, in the affiliate. Maybe I will. I don't know what I'm using. I just got, these are all, I probably got all of these on sale. I'm not using the washable markers. They're too colorful. Too saturated. Not colorful. I mean, I like colors. Ooh, this is gonna be perfect. Ooh. Okay, what the heck am I doing? What am I saying? Alrighty. So Garnet's actually kind of like her color. She's actually kind of a dark pink, isn't she? Wow, I didn't know she was. I didn't realize that. You know, you watch the cartoon, you don't even pay attention. How should I do her hair? I think I'm gonna paint her hair, and I will do that last. So, let's see what I can do with red. This is a really deep red, or a really bright red, not a deep red. I don't have her toes. Look at how long it's taken. I'm just so nervous. You know, this is the original. I'm so nervous. And I think I use Soooo ink, so I gotta be careful. I'm gonna have to go over this with a little bit of blue. Because, you know, ruby and sapphire, blue and red, make a purplish color. Maybe I shouldn't even be using the brush tip. Maybe I should be using the chisel. The chisel nib. Just chisel away at this piece. I don't know what the heck that is. Sorry. I'm giving myself sugar. I'm giving myself some sugar. Give me some sugar, baby. Bad idea. Recording. Oh gosh, you guys. So there's like this Daria episode that I really remember very well when I was younger. We didn't get MTV until I was in high school because we didn't have cable or anything, but finally my parents got satellite dish and we lived out in the country. So you just used what, you know, you just watched normal TV if you didn't have money for satellite. But eventually they had a little more money because my sister was out of the house and I had a job, so when I was 16, I got a job as a waitress. My first week, like the week of my birthday, my mom drove me into Sgt. Pepper's Cafe in Springfield, which, oh my god, if you guys get a chance, go there. The family is so freaking nice. My boss was Z, but I think his son Mo has taken over. And then there's one in Edwardsville, which his oldest son, Tarek, I think. I'm not giving last names, but I mean, they're in the public eye, and they have restaurants, so. But if you get a chance to go to Sgt. Pepper's Cafe in either Springfield or Edwardsville, Illinois, it's not everywhere, it's a locally owned joint, but, oh, I love that restaurant, and they're Beatle-themed, and the family's just, I love them. I felt like for a while there, I worked there for almost 4 years. I got my first job when I was 16. And I loved the Beatles, right? So I was like, I gotta go in there and work there so I can hear the Beatles. And then, like, they couldn't play the Beatles because of copyright crap. I mean, they did play some Beatles, but they played a lot of Grateful Dead. I talked about the Grateful Dead last video. But they played a lot of Dead because no one was in there threatening to sue them. I don't know what they play now. They probably have like a Sirius radio station now. I don't know. But go there if you have a chance. But yeah, I got my first job when I was 16, so I was buying a lot of my own stuff by that point. So my parents were able to finally afford getting a satellite dish. And I watched this Daria episode where she meets this guy whose parents they're not really hippies, but they're health food nuts, and he's not allowed to have sugar or gum or anything. And I was just thinking, when I was a kid, because I was really hyper, like, people used to, like, some of my teachers commented, you know, she might need Ritalin. And my mom didn't like that idea anyway, but she took me into my doctor to find out what he had to say, and he said, you know, she's a kid, and she's hyper. So, she doesn't need Ritalin. She just needs, you know, no sugar, you know, less sugar, and she needs some exercise. So, I mean, I was a real scrawny, sickly kid. But he's like, she doesn't need to burn herself out with medicine. She just needs to go out and play, which I did. I love to play outside. with my cousins and my sister. This is like a really dark... Okay. I don't want to mess up. So I have some... If you cut off pieces of paper, keep it as scrap paper, you guys. So I'm away from the microphone. Keep this as scrap paper so you can use it. But yeah, I wasn't allowed... So when I was growing up, I was so hyper, I was not allowed sugar. So even to this day when I have sugar, which I have sugar a lot because it's America and they put corn syrup and everything, you can't avoid it unless you cook from scratch, which we do. Usually, most of our stuff, I cook from scratch. It's not going to be the exact same color. I get like really hyper whenever I have sugar. I feel like that's almost the same color. Look how juicy that is. Juicy. You know what I'll do? Maybe what I'll do is I will mix these and then I will... Because I feel like that looks pretty much the same. It doesn't look any different, hardly. Maybe a little. Maybe I'll put the blue on the bottom. And then if it's not dark enough, then I'm going to do a wash over it. It's a wash. Oh, I need to get my... This is going to be one of those videos where I don't have my jaw running every 5 seconds. I used to hate the show Jabberjaw. It was on Cartoon Network. The Boomerang Network. Not Cartoon Network, Boomerang. I like a lot of old cartoons, you guys. I like Johnny Quest. I like, obviously, Scooby-Doo. I don't know who didn't like Scooby-Doo when I was a kid. Obviously, the Looney Tunes and stuff like that. But I did not like Jabberjaw. He was just annoying. I was not... My mom loves... Or not loves. She's not, like, obsessed or anything. But she really liked the Three Stooges. Because that's what she remembers growing up. I liked them okay. When I got a little older, I appreciated them a little more. But I'm not big into slapstick, personally. So I was never a big Three Stooges fan. Again, nothing against them. I do think they're funny. And I think they were talented, for sure. We learned a lot of what not to do from them. They've got some really sad stories behind what happened to the guys who always played, like Curly and Chimp. I think had some serious health problems from playing those roles. But I mean, I guess they didn't really know better back then. But I never liked the cartoon Jabberjaw. Most people are like, what the heck are you talking about? And that's, I'm sure, how my dude friend feels every day. What the heck is she talking about? Do you ever think things in your head and then start talking about it? And then have people be like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, oh, maybe I should have introduced my thoughts before I started talking about this. That's me. Yesterday, we went to a locally owned art store. I am so stoked, man, because they had some really cheap Soooo ink. And it's a different brand than I usually advertise. But it was like there was more ink in it and it was cheaper. So I may try to see if that stuff works just as well as what I've been using. And if it does, I will advertise it. Although I'm going to keep it in this, I'm going to wash this out and keep the ink in there because it came in like this big thing. So I'm not going to dip my pen in that. I'm just going to wash that out and reuse it because that's what I do. if this is like colored pencils and I should be doing it in circular motions. I never do anything the way you're supposed to do it. What I do like about Copics, and I haven't had the opportunity to try this yet, but they're supposed to be refillable. So you don't have to keep buying, like once you get a set, you can keep reusing the plastic part. And the nibs are supposed to be replaceable. So as much as I really want to try some of the generic ones, because they're cheaper, and I have been viewing people who say they work pretty much just as well, what's the major drawback that is stopping me from purchasing them is that they are not refillable. So I guess I would rather I would rather have fewer colors and just buy the more expensive product, because I personally don't want to produce as much waste. I would rather do that than buy something that's cheaper, even though I know that the cheaper product would probably be better for me. You know, I could get more, not better for me, but you know what I mean, like there would be more colors. Because I only get Copics when we have spare cash. I'm hoping when that dries it'll be a little more even. I love classical music. I don't have a very, you know, like I listen to a lot of different kind of music, and I can remember who this is and who's that, and you know, I have a very large music repertoire. I guess would be a good way of putting that. Repertoire. Ooh, that's a fun word. Menage a trois? Not the same thing at all. Hopefully the YouTube thing doesn't like flag my video. But even so, I never know. Like, aside from a few, like Tchaikovsky, I can usually immediately recognize a Tchaikovsky. Tchaikovsky? I'm probably saying his name wrong, sorry. I'm just gonna, eventually I will be apologizing to every nation in the world, because I will try to say a word from every nation that we know of, and I'll have to apologize for mispronouncing it. That's my goal, you guys. That's not my goal at all. I don't want to do that. There's a little bit of a glare. Is that looking okay on the camera? I have to keep going between the camera. Oh yeah, it looks fine on the... It's just me, I just can't see it. That's okay, I don't need to stay in the lines. Oh wait, yeah, I did this in Sumi ink, so I'm using the Copics, so it's gonna work real well. This is pretty much the same color, so I'm gonna do an ink wash over it. Oh my god, she's a valley girl. Okay, fine, for sure, for sure. I love Frank Zappa. Carrie, so politically incorrect, but he's so friggin' hilarious. Yes, my name is Andrea. My mom had a friend in high school. The first Frank Zappa album came out, I think, in '65. It was Freak Out. And that was her first introduction to Frank Zappa. I don't know if that's the album that has the "Watch out where the Huskies go, don't you eat that yellow snow." So juvenile, but so funny. I'm sorry. I like a lot of Zappa's more experimental stuff. Like, I listen to some his lyrics are usually pretty funny. Even though he made fun of the Beatles, I don't care. You can make fun of whatever you want. That's the thing. Some fans get like crazy. It's like you can't even make fun of what. No one's allowed to make fun of the thing that you like, and it's like, you gotta have a sense of humor about it. Even the Beatles didn't care that they were filthy rich by that time. But like the Ruddles, they were good friends with like the a lot of the cast of Monty Python, and then like the Ruddles came out with Eric Idle and some of the other boys, they were adult men. Some of the other guys in Monty Python. So I mean, and the Beatles didn't care that they were made fun of. It's like you got to have a good sense of humor about it. I mean, they made fun of themselves too. You know. But I like a lot of Zappa's more experimental stuff, like on, I think the name of the album is Enlight, or maybe that's the name of the song, but it's really weird, it's really out there. I like that kind of weird out there stuff. I don't want to hear it, like, all the time, but, like, in one of my Alice in Wonderland videos, I was talking about Syd Barrett. I like a lot of Pink Floyd's early stuff with Barrett because it's really weird sounding and so experimental. And even whenever Barrett, kind of stopped showing up and they had to move on without him, I like a lot of their, Obscured by Clouds and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the exact same color, but don't worry, I won't fix it. I think this is supposed to be the same color. Let me pull my picture. I keep having to switch between my, between the recording and the reference, because I want to make sure that I'm somewhat matching the colors. Oh, I gave her some little cuffs. You know what? I don't care. It's fan art. It doesn't have to be exact. I gave her these cute little cuffs. I don't know why. Maybe something I was looking at had cuffs on it. Mm-hmm. Come on, Ashley. Let's move all this crap. Ah! That didn't work. Dude, chill. There we go. But yeah, I really wish I was better at recognizing classical songs. I know some Chopin. I can pick out Chopin. 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 Is it Chopin? Chopin? I don't know. Well, I can tick Polish off. Sorry, you guys. Tick Polish off my list of names I've mispronounced. Let's just try the chisel. Let's see how that goes with just the chisel on. Chisel for shizzle. My nizzle. I don't even know. I'm just making stuff up now. Oh, thank God my partner has his headphones on. It's not like it's anything new. Anything he hears me say is like, yep, this is just her babbling. He wouldn't say that. Okay. Meow. Meow. I need some pinks. Okay, because I have such a limited supply, let's figure out what colors we want to do the rest of her in. At some point I'm going to have to mess with her visor. I don't even have these organized. Look, these are not the colors that belong in this box. I'm the worst. those. Let's see what pinks I have. Oh, look at that. Is it the same color? No. Ooh, shocking pink. To go with Shocking Blue, my Venus. My car is named after the lead singer of Shocking Blue. Her name is Mariska. Because my car is a shocking blue. Could you tell I like the color blue? Also, I just like that song, Shocking Blue, from Shocking Blue, Venus. I like the original better than the 80s remake, even though I'm an 80s kid. I like some things from the 80s. I'm a big Depeche Mode fan. Oops. I guess I don't really like to judge the genres. I just think you should judge things based on whether or not you like it. Everything. Do I need any purples? What would happen if I took a purple and colored over one of those? Let's find out. Now's the time to experiment. I almost feel like I should have had all this ready, but I don't know. I didn't know what I was doing. I mean, I had an idea. I was like, I want to color Garnet today. And that's the extent of my thought process. The second part of my thought process, once I actually started, I was like, oh, what am I going to color it with? Definitely not ink. No way, Jose. Yeah, that would be really cool. Maybe I don't even need to get the ink out. What about that? What happens? Is that better? I think I like this one better. Oh, it's the generic one. Oh, wait, they're both generic. Never mind. This is the artist. I don't even know. I started with lipstick red. I interchanged which ones I colored over. This is smoky blue. And now I'm going to use Blue Violet Artist Loft Fundamentals. Not sponsored. For the darker part here. Okay, so you're supposed to actually, if you want things to be kind of even, you're supposed to do it in kind of a circular motion. You know what I need? Oh, I need. Oh, bloody heck. Where is it? Does bloody count as a curse word in the US? Is it a curse word in Britain? I don't know. Oh, there's my pencil sharpener. Got two in case that one's annoying. I've got that one. Noob. I almost feel like that should be sharpened. Shows you how much I've used these colored pencils. That one had never been sharpened. I don't use colored pencils much anymore. But every time I see them, I'm like, ooh, colored pencils, I want them. And I'm like, no, you have a whole stack of colored pencils you have not used yet. I gotta make sure I don't forget what I'm doing and I don't cross over to that other side. Doesn't bode well. Maybe I'll use these quicker than I think I'm going to. My wrist is just kind of... I'm just doing that because I don't even know why. It wasn't hurting or anything. I was just like, I need to do that. I need to stretch my wrist a little bit. So I wanted to do this original picture because a lot of times when I watch something, it's and I really like it, I find it to be kind of inspiring, and it just makes me want to draw something, but I won't necessarily want to draw, you know, something that is my own creation. Sometimes you just want to draw somebody else's picture or character, you know? See if you can do it, or just to do your own version of it, just to have fun because you like the character. So that was the case with this. I don't know, I haven't drawn Pearl yet. I really like Pearl. But I have to say, Amethyst is probably my favorite. I need to check something out here. Yeah, Amethyst is definitely one of my favorites. I really like, I mean, of the gems. She's just so cool. I for Halloween, either last year or the year before, I dressed up as Amethyst. And I really like Garnet, and I really like all the blue ones, just because blue. No, I like Sapphire because she's so cool. She's just cool, you know? She's a cool color. Bad joke. I do like Ruby too. Ruby's cute. She's always really cute whenever she gets screen time. I like Lapis. I'm glad they, I mean, they had to do, she was a little difficult because she had, you know, so many fans got so angry about how difficult she was being. It's like, dude, she's been through quite a bit of trauma. What are you going to expect from someone? I know it's just cartoon. It's all cartoons. It's just characters and cartoons, people. But it's not just that. I mean, it has a message. It has a very important message, you know. Fans get so mad about things. Although I need to shut up because I get mad about things too. I've talked about how I feel about Fushigi Yugi in one of my videos. I was talking about that. Just what the author did to Noriko just ticked me off so bad. And I mean, the manga I feel is a little bit better than the anime because the anime just has, you know, it's kind of loud. Not that I don't like loud animes, but it was just kind of loud. And I was not too. I watched it all. I watched every single one. I was a big fan of it in college, but as an adult, well, I mean, not that I wasn't an adult in college, but it was like, now that I am older, I just find so much of it so annoying. It's like, oh, why? No, why? Don't do that. And what they ended up doing with Noriko just, it was the nail in my coffin. I was so mad. Ugh. Because Noriko was my favorite character out of Noriko and Yui. And somebody on a forum and I was mostly, I mean, we were kind of talking to each other, but it was kind of off subject, so we tried to not steer the thread in the wrong direction. But we were talking about how it's just like the Miyaka show, and it's like she's not like unlikable, but unlike Usagi and Sailor Moon, Sailor Moon grows as a person and a character and isn't just constantly needing to be saved. Miyaka, I mean, and I've watched every single all of the anime, and I've read all of the, not all of the Fushigi Yugi series, because there's also Genbu, and I think there might be a Byaku series, because they're going through all the four gods, Uwatase. And I like some of Uwatase. I like Cirrus really well. Maybe she's improved. I started reading the Genbu, but I never finished it, because I wasn't buying manga anymore. It was just too expensive. But yeah, Fushigi Yugi, that first series, like the first arc is okay, sans anything following what happens to Noriko. I'm just not a really big fan of harem manga, or reverse harem even, which is what Fushigi Yugi is. Like Tenchi Muyo. I like so much of Tenchi Muyo, but so much of it also is just focused on the harem aspect of it, and Tenchi ends up being completely useless, except for occasionally he pulls together and does something, and of course is better than the other characters, but other than that, he's just blah. He's just a blah character, and I understand they do that on purpose, so that you can live out your fantasy through the anime, but, I just don't like it. I'm sorry, there's just no other... I'm not the only one, lots of people don't like it. I think these three colors are going to look very lovely. I think this is what I'll use, yeah, in that order. I'm going to tilt my head because my light, it's looking great and I don't want to mess it up. It's looking great as I record and I don't want to mess up my my video, so I'm just gonna tilt my own head because the light coming down is reflecting the lines, so it's I can't see it very well. That's the excuse I'm gonna use for why it looks so bad. I'm just kidding. It's not gonna look that bad. It's looking okay. You know what's interesting is that I have seen some people take their paintbrushes, and here's where I ruin it. Take their paintbrush. Oh shoot! I should have put that back in the package. Oh, what am I doing? I'm just gonna experiment. Just a tiny bit, just a little bit. Not very much. Just a tiny bit of water. See what happens. Anything at all? Nah. 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 Too much work. Don't care. I need to put these up. Oh, they got a nice fine point. I get sidetracked so easily. Okay. Set those aside. We're not painting. Ew. I'm gonna need to fix it. I don't like what I did there. There. Okay. Here's the pencil I was using. I guess she actually has a... That is black. Oh. There's black. Oh, it's not sharpened. Should I use a colored pencil, or maybe I should just paint it? I don't know. We'll just go with it. Well then, maybe I should just color her hair with the black. Because that's kind of, it's black, but it's also kind of, I like that, actually. Now, I don't know what these two colors are. I mean, I see them, but sometimes you look at it and it doesn't look exactly the way you think it's going to look. Oh, that's exactly what I want. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. Why do I have so many stars? Am I looking at the wrong reference? I feel like I looked at a reference and there's way more going on hers than... What did I do? Well, oh, was I looking at that one? Well, when you make a mistake, go with it. I made her too many stars. Woo! I don't even know. Okay. No. Oh, wait, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's the right one. Well, as long as I make this bright pink one, the one that's in the middle. This will make mine unique. My mistake makes this one unique. I don't even know. If you make a mistake, I mean, you know, it doesn't have to be, you know, I say this all the time, it doesn't have to be perfect because, you know, you're doing it for fun if you're enjoying what you're doing. Most people, as long as you just play it off, most people aren't going to notice that there's too many stars. Because this is marker paper, I feel like it might be a little too thin for me to mess around with the paint, you know, or not the paint, but with the brush and water. But I've seen some people actually will get out their brush, and it's not necessarily, they're not usually, or not always, using watercolor pencils. They're just using regular colored pencils, and I'll see them kind of blend things together that way. But this paper is so thin that I don't really want to chance it. I mean, I tried it down there, but I don't want to chance it again. I'm just using this to kind of, if there's any, you know, sometimes when you color something, it'll leave behind a little bit of the pencil. So I'm just trying to prevent that from being an issue. Is why I've got the tissue here. Tissue. I'm a poet, and I know it. Okay. So I'm going to make her a little cufflink that I made up. Hey, you guys, if I didn't make up this design and actually looked at something that exists, please post a comment below and let me know. I like that. I like the color black. I do. It's a color. It's pigment. It's every color. I want them to come out with a black diamond in Steven Universe. Holy crap, how amazing would that be? Because, I mean, they've got the white diamond, yellow, red, or not red, they've got pink diamond. The black diamonds. Growing up, I remember those Elizabeth Taylor ads for Black Diamonds, the perfume. Ooh, you can smell like Elizabeth Taylor. It's kind of weird. Smell like your favorite celebrity. Do you think celebrities wear their perfumes? Oh my gosh, speaking of black perfume, I do really like that Lady Gaga Fame perfume. I need to look up what is in it. I should just be buying Stella McCartney perfumes. I shouldn't be buying any perfumes. I don't ever buy perfume myself. I'm talking about all these perfumes. I don't buy perfume very much. I'm a dirty hippie. Sure, dirty hippie. I wear perfume. I do. I just don't buy expensive stuff because I'm broke. And I'm not poor. I'm not poor, you guys. I talk about being broke all the time. I'm cheap. That's the real thing. When I say I'm broke, half the time I mean I'm cheap. And this is true. You know what? I just like this color. This is oh, I hope it doesn't have real carmine in it. Ew. Carmine's made out of bugs. It's made out of beetle shells. They've been using it forever. I don't think it really has. I mean, these are generic colored pencils. It's just the shade they're talking about. I'm just going to add it in because I want to. And because I have an extra star. This is such a cool, like, very Funkadelic design. I just love Garnet. And I mean, the character herself and what she represents, I love too. But I love her design because it's very funky. It's very, I like a lot of funk music. KDHX Orlandez, Friday nights, 8 p.m. KDX, or, you know, Chicago, you know, Central Time, whatever. KDHX.org. You can watch it anywhere in the world for free. And Orlandez is one of my favorite shows. Oh my gosh, I love that guy. Got some choice cuts with Orlandez here. I used to drive home to him from work. So then, wow, this is actually about the same color as this stuff, so this one. So how did I do that? I think I had the red down first. 5 seconds ago. I've already forgotten what's going on. It wasn't 5 seconds ago. Hyperbole? I know you heard of me. That's a song I found. I don't know, I found it by accident. You know, when I was a kid, we had, well, actually, it's from the 70s and 80s, but, I mean, I was born in 84, but we used to watch the Schoolhouse Rock. I never liked it that much. Everybody else just loved it. For some reason, I didn't really like it. I don't know why. I like it now more as an adult, but I still don't like it that much. Sorry. My generation, don't stone me, please. I guess everybody must get stoned. But I found, along the same lines, I was looking for, I don't even know what I was looking for, but I came across this video, and it's like this educational rap. Hyperbole? I know you heard of me. I could eat a whole horse. Oh my god, I'm gonna put an iCard up for that because it's so cute. I love it. I can't sing. I don't know why I'm trying to sing. I don't think that's as horrible as I could have been with the singing, though. I didn't, you know, sing too much. I'm just getting all... I cannot talk about not being able to color within the lines. Jeez. This is why computer programs exist, are for people like me. No. No. Extremely skilled people digitally color circles around me. It's okay. It's cool. Oh. I think I'm still gonna maybe try to put something over that because it's still not quite as dark as I want it. Just went out the lines. I always try to remember to put the credits both in the at the end of the video and in the description. I know I always put it in the description. Sometimes I forget to put it in the video, but the opening and closing music for my videos are from Zap Splat Music. Zap Splat, one word, music.com. It's free. And eventually I'm going to donate to them. It just takes me some time to save up a bit of cash and throw their way. Throw a few shekels their way. Is shekels, is that like an actual form of money? If that's something that I'm not, if that's a term that I'm not supposed to be saying because it's like politically incorrect or something, I'm so sorry. I thought it was a form of money. So if it's something wrong, I'll just stop using it. I don't even know what it is. You gotta be careful what you say. Especially, I say a lot of old sayings, and then I'm like, where'd that come from? I should look it up before I offend someone. Most people don't know, though. I refuse to... I always say butt naked, because the form that everybody else uses is so wrong. And I guess everyone's forgotten, so maybe I'm not even going to bring it up, but I refuse to use it because it's just like, oh my god, you don't know how terrible that is. And like, people sing it in songs, and I'm like, no, no, but whatever. If everyone's forgotten, then that's good. If everyone just forgets, then they're just words again, I guess. So I'm not even going to bring it up, but I refuse to use it just because on the principle of the matter. And I'm not even going to say it for that reason. She's kind of pink. I always thought she was, well, okay, at the beginning of the series, she did start out more, her skin tone was browner, and she's evolved to become pinker. Well, I'm just going to color her pink, and then I'm going to color a little bit of brown over it, and then I'll have both my bases tagged. Boom. Like that. So let's see, what color... her skin tone wasn't too dark, so maybe this tan would... Is this tan? This does not have a label on it. I have no idea. Whatever. Oh, that'll be good. Is that working? And yeah, I guess that's okay. That's okay. Okay, so this is an arm. This is an arm. No! What the heck? What is even getting underneath there? I'm not even erasing. It's okay. It's fixable. It's salvageable. You just gotta be mellow. You can't... If you make a mistake, if something happens, just don't fret. Don't spaz out. Just take a deep breath and take a look at what you're doing and think of, how can I fix this? My fixes aren't always the best way to fix things, but I will try to find a way to fix things. Like, where I've gone out of the line, I'm going to make the lines a little thicker there, which I probably shouldn't, because the thicker the line, it's supposed to look rounder. But I also don't want my mistakes to be noticeable, so, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do. When I was a kid, I never even thought about mixing, you know, like colored pencils, you know, like coloring over each other. But one thing I did like to do, oh gosh, this was so fun. I liked to color one thing that I would do a lot of times, I would color one layer of a bunch of different colors just all over the place, like, you know, and with no space in between, really thick. And then I'd take a black crayon and I would just put the black crayon all over it in a very thickly. And then I would take like my fingernail or like a penny or something with kind of an edge on it. And then I would like draw pictures out of the thick black crayon. This is the right one. Oh, I didn't mean to grab the wrong one. Did I? Did I? Oh, I don't know what I was using. I think I was using this one. Let's look. Let's look. Yeah, that's right. Okay. I need to pay attention to what I'm doing. I hope she's still in the middle there. I forget which color stone is on her. It would be her left hand. Oh, I guess her stones would be kind of reddish. Because they're garnets. Duh, the hands are the same. Yeah, okay. That's good to know. Another reason why I don't get too caught up in being perfect when I color, or probably when I do anything, but I just like, you know, the feel of it. I guess they figured out that coloring is kind of, well, for some people coloring is therapeutic. So, you don't have to stay in the line always, right? Especially if you're just doing it to have fun. I say that and I'm going to be trying to sell this. Well, maybe whoever buys it will be more forgiving. I guess I said I was going to talk about our trip out east. I mean, I guess I could. We had a really good time. We drove the whole way, and that was cool because we got to see a lot of different places, and we stopped in some of them. I am a big fan of the poet Henry Wadsworth Longfellow. I've just always been a fan of his. I memorized The Day Is Done in like 2nd grade. I'm not trying to not because I'm smart, but because I really like. I think there's one video where I said I just remember things and repeat them, and that's like, in essence, that's exactly what I like to do. So, you know, parrots and I are like this. I love parrots, budgie guards, parakeets. I don't know if they can talk. I don't think parakeets can talk. But I was always a big fan, and I memorized the Day Is Done poem. It's one of my favorites, because it's both my mom and my dad would often, one or the other, would read that to us when we were kids. We had this big, like, 70s golden mustard yellow armchair, and it was big enough for both my sister and I to sit on Dad's lap or Mom's lap. Whoever, like I said, whoever was there. Both Mom and Dad read to us. Mom liked to read to us too. But it was one of the things that, because my dad wasn't home a lot, it was kind of one of those things that we enjoyed. And I liked the poem so much that I memorized it. And just this year, when we went to Boston, the Longfellow National Historic Site is in Cambridge. But apparently his house, he was I did not realize this, but the house that he lived in with his wife Fanny was also, before he bought it and expanded upon it, it was one of the houses that President George Washington lived in for a while. I guess Washington hadn't planned on staying there for a long time, but the war was going on longer than initially anticipated. Don't they always, you know? Oh, this is just going to be a quick war. It's never a quick war, you guys. Not usually. I'm not saying that we should have had the Revolutionary War. I'm just saying, war. What is it good for? Just in a general sense, the whole concept of war. But yeah, he. So I guess eventually Martha came and joined him. Martha, Martha, Martha. I know it's Marcia. What color are her lips? Does she ever look like she has lipstick on? I guess not. Well, I wanted to draw her with lipstick on. Maybe I should anyway. Yeah, I guess she doesn't have lipstick on, so I'm just going to make her lips the same color. Yes, I'm still listening. Oh, I hate how YouTube will ask you if you're still listening. Yes, I am. It's classical music. It takes forever. Just kidding. At least I caught it this time. I think last time it stopped playing and I didn't notice because I was babbling. Last time, I mean like the video before last. I'm gonna put another layer of the brown. I feel like she should be a little bit browner. I don't like that. No, little fruit fly, go away. Winter is coming and the fruit flies will go away. I mean, there's got to be something for the little spideys to eat, right? Our house is not dirty, I swear. I mean, it's okay. I'm gonna retract that sentence. It's not as bad as it could be. I swear. We're not dirty. We're not literally dirty hippies. We're just dirty hippies. No. We're just hippies. Oh. You know, you can always tell a cheap colored pencil when there's something hard in the lead. Oh, or it falls out, like it's trying to do now. You're not gonna fall out until I'm done with you. I don't even know what that accent is. Yeah, this is that weird cheap one. Oh, wow, the whole thing is trying to split. But I need you. I need you. Don't do it. Fudge. I know I'm pressing down too hard. But I'm layering it, so I've got to press down a bit hard. Let's try this. Let's not sharpen it too much. You're kidding me, right? If at first you don't succeed. Sure. This is like getting cartoon levels of ridiculous. Well, that's why they don't put their brand on there, so that you don't know what brand it is to not buy. I don't remember what it was. Okay, let's take another swig of our carbonated sugar water. I can strip a car battery. Guess as long as you don't drink too much of it, you're fine. I have been working very hard. Actually, I'm gonna talk about how proud I am of myself. Because when I lived up in DeKalb, because there's no reason, I was just tired and strung out and needed energy, but I used to drink Mountain Dew every day, a bottle of it, and I'd have coffee with like that creamer in it. I had more creamer than coffee because I'm terrible to myself. This was when I was still vegetarian back then. I've made a switch, but oh my god, I put like most of my cup of coffee would be that Coffee Mate French vanilla. Oh, it's so terrible. It's all chemicals. Even if you buy that natural, supposedly the natural stuff, I'm crazy. I don't trust it. But I put on so much weight when I lived up there because I was not taking care of I'm still not skinny. And I don't think you have to be skinny to be healthy. I mean, too skinny can be unhealthy too. But let's face it, I'm going to be real with myself, and it was not healthy at all to drink a Mountain Dew every day, sometimes two. But I was tired and stressed out, and I needed the energy because I was working 8 to 8, and I feel bad for me, sob story. Tiniest fiddle, I know, I get it. I'm not self-pitying myself, but that's what I did, which is what a lot of us do, and oh my gosh, it's so bad to drink that much soda. It's so bad to drink that much soda. So, since I moved down here, I still drink soda. I still drink maybe, usually it'll vary between 2 a week to 1 a week, depending on what's going on and what my willpower level is, but I think that I'm gonna pat myself on the back. It wasn't even going vegan probably that helped me lose weight. It was probably just not drinking as much soda and cutting out that creamer. Because now a lot of times I will, in my coffee, I'll either buy, if I want to, I'll buy the soy or almond milk, but almond milk I don't like. I like the taste of it better a lot of times than soy milk, but my partner, I don't want to talk much about him, but he tries to avoid soy, so I like to get the almond milk, but I hate the packaging, because in our area you can't recycle it. Oh, I don't know where to recycle those cartons at. And the more expensive ones are just in plastic, and plastic doesn't even always get recycled, even if you try to recycle it. So, a lot of times what I'll do is, I go to the Asian store a lot because I love Asian food. I just do. Growing up, every now and then we'd go. We did cut off relations with my dad's side of the family because some of them were very, the buzzword this year has been toxic, and I'm gonna say there's no other way to really describe them. But we did cut off relations with some of them, not all of them were like that, but it was not a very good situation. But my dad's mother was raised in the Philippines, and oh my god, she was a good cook, okay? So was my maternal grandmother. Man, I miss my grandma on my mom's side. I really miss her. But her food, a lot of it was like pan-seed, a lot of seafood. Pan-seed is like my food, only it's from the Philippines, and it's probably a little different than my food. They're rice noodles. They're thin rice noodles that you cook up. I never see it labeled as pan-seed. I always see it labeled as my food, so I'm hoping people know what that is. But I've always liked Asian food. So, yeah, so we go to the Asian food store a lot, and you can get some decently priced coconut milk that has nothing in it but coconut milk and water, and I buy it in the cans so that I can recycle the tin cans. And what I'll do is I'll get some of the cheaper cans, and then I will put it in like my big, I have these jars that are like they're 2 cups, a little over 2 cups each. So together, when I have 2 of them, I have 4, and I split the can in half, and I put it in the jars, and then I add water up to the top. I water it down because the coconut milk is very, if you just put it straight in your coffee, it's going to be really kind of oily. So I like to water it down. And that's usually what I will use as creamer, but I also will sometimes make my own plant-based milk substitute. That's ridiculous. I'm going to call it plant milk because, I mean, if we're going to have to not call it milk, then we need to stop calling milkweed because that's not milk. It's not from a cow. It's not from a goat. It's not from a mammal. I mean, we know that it's not. As long as it says it's plant-based, we know that it's not animal milk. Duh. I don't know. People are just, it's just a ploy. Anyway. As my ramble about that. But anyway, the milk substitute is what I'll call it, just to be safe. But sometimes I make my own a lot of times when I have a chance. I've made my own soy milk. I usually don't drink it straight. I will cook it in things, or I'll make my own tofu. I really like to cook, and I like to learn how to do things. Because when the end of the world comes, I want to... I'm kidding. I'm kidding. I'm tongue-in-cheek kidding. Uh, but I do like to know how to do things myself. So I'll make my own soy milk, or I'll make my own rice milk, which is not... as long as you strain it, it's not too terribly grainy, but the first time I made it, I didn't strain it very well, so it was just like all sinking to the bottom. But that way I'm like producing even less waste, and I feel accomplished because I've made something. I feel like it's similar to how I feel about art. I like to do it because at the end of the day, I've accomplished something really fun, you know? And if I can have less waste while I do it. But yeah, that's what I use now instead of like the Coffee Mate stuff. Or even buying like, I mean, let's face it, Silk, the coffee creamer, just because it's plant-based doesn't mean it's good for you. I mean, that's something that people want a quick fix and a quick diet, and they want like easy ways of doing things sometimes because our lives are so busy, you know? It's hard to make ends meet and to take care of ourselves too. So I mean, I don't think I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just saying we look for the quick fix for whatever reason because our lives are so busy. And a lot of times people think, oh, if I go on this diet or that diet, that's going to solve all my problems. And it's, I mean, I'm not going to lie, I lost like 15 pounds when I went vegan, but I know it's because I stopped eating mac and cheese. I blamed it. It has nothing to do with going vegan. It has to do with cutting out the stuff that was bad for me. I mean, maybe it does, but I don't know. I'm trying to be real about it. I need to see what color her gem is. That's kind of a red. I am going to color that just red. Where's the straight up red? Oh no, it's another one of those unlabeled ones. Let's hope it holds out. I don't like that. What if I just use... I don't know what I'm doing. I gotta try to make sure I stay in the lines a little bit. I also made oat milk not that long ago. That was pretty good. It's kind of viscous. Viscous is a fancy word for slimy. How does that make your palates salivate, you guys? I don't care. I'll eat anything. Really, I've been blessed to not be a picky eater. Well, everybody else was like trying to avoid their Brussels sprouts. I was like, give them to me. I'll eat them. Give me that broccoli. I love I love pretty much all vegetables. I'm not a big fan of anise, star anise, but my dude friend likes it a lot, and foods that I don't like, I try to force myself to eat and like if it's good for you, you know, or if it's, you know, okay. Like wheat bread. I used to hate wheat bread. I like the doughy bread. But I have since switched. I am not eating doughy bread anymore. I'm eating the good bread. I eat wheat bread. Bake it. Well, I don't bake wheat bread very often. I usually bake the white bread. But yeah, I do try to make myself eat the things that I don't like, and then eventually I find that I've started liking it. I don't know, I basically Stockholm syndrome my taste buds. But I've started liking it, especially because I branch out. I have started trying to branch out my cooking, and I made some homemade pho. And it uses star anise in the broth. Oh my gosh. Oh, pho. It's better when you don't have to do it yourself. No, just kidding. It tastes better when it's homemade. Actually, no. Actually, most of the time the restaurants are pretty good too. And I can usually find something to eat at the restaurants. But yeah, it slowly has started growing on me. The Chinese 5 spice, because it's got a lot of anise in it. This is like totally has absolutely nothing to do with what I've been talking about, but at some point I want to upload some picture or some videos of our dogs. Oh my gosh, they're so adorable. Brad, look at how cute they are.
They've been like that for a while now. Just really trying to get your attention.
No, they have. They sleep. They're asleep. They're asleep. Oh my gosh, I don't know what I'm doing. Ooh, yin and yang. I had this idea for this picture. I mean, you know, they're like yin and yang. And so that's why when I was watching the show, I was like, hey, you know what? I want to draw Garnet. And then I want to like have a cute little heart-shaped yin yang to symbolize them because they're opposites, but they go together, you know? And it's interesting because even if people are opposites, they actually oftentimes have more in common than they think they do. Not always, but sometimes. I wonder if it's gonna work painting over this with ink. Let's fill in her... Where are they? Oh, psh. Right in front of you. Can't see it. I gotta move it, guys. Sorry. Should that be black too? Maybe? Maybe that should be purple. What happens if I color that purple? What happens if I color it purple? It's purple. Not purple enough. There we have it. Ew, ew. I shouldn't have colored that. Oopsie. Maybe I'll just go over that with the... I'm just using the Sakura gel pens to fix my mistakes. Ooh. That's not... Is that what they're for? They're for whatever you want to make them for. Why am I blowing on that? I need to wake it up. Come on, wake up. This is the 5. It might be too slick for it. It might not have enough tooth to grab it off, but it's a gel pen, so that's not really supposed to be an issue. I haven't used that one yet either, so that's probably more the problem. Ding! Oh, I can add some more. Oh, don't overdo it. Ding, 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 ding. It's the noise. I don't even know. That's the noise in it. Julie, I hear you sniffing over there. Bless you. I guess you're sneezing. Okay. make her visor a light. I kind of wish I had a light colored reddish or pink toned Copic. But you know what? I'm gonna do this how I want to do this. Actually, coloring over that purple with the white kind of made it almost a lavender. That actually kind of looks cool. Maybe I should do that with the other one too. I wanted the lighter pink. Where did I toss it? Did I toss it aside? Ooh, this must have been it. Let's see what happens when we do that. Yeah, that kind of looks lavendery a little bit. Lavendery, that's a new word. It has a touch of lavender. How long is this video? Jeez, it's probably been an hour. Oh goodness, it's been an hour and a half. Oh, it looks terrible on the screen. It looks so much better, like, with my eyeballs. Sheesh, what should I do with the background? Now, see, that's my biggest problem. My biggest weak point, is the background. What should I do with it? Let's do that. It's easy. I grabbed it. It was within hand's reach. I'm not going to make it very dark because I don't want it to be dark. I want it to contrast the darkness of the rest of her outfit. And that will also kind of help cover up a little bit. I went out of the lines a little bit with the blue there. You're not supposed to go in a straight line. I never do anything right, you guys. I'm trying to do like more circular motion. Circles, circles. It was my art teacher in high school who taught us how to shade. Or not shade, but, well, yeah, shade. But fill in with colored pencils. One of these days I'm going to do a video talking about my art teachers, because I loved my art teachers, especially in high school. Mr. Sorrells, God rest his soul, he did pass away from cancer after I'd graduated, but I remember hearing on the radio they were doing a drive for him, and then someone told me he passed away. And I was just so devastated, because even though I was now in college, gosh dang it, what is that? Just doing that. But even though I was in college, I was so upset. Because he was such a good teacher, and he had a very powerful impact on me. And I think a lot of, not just me, a lot of the students. Our school, we didn't necessarily get the best education. I guess it could have been worse. But there are quite a few teachers that were shining stars at that school. And he was one of them. So one of these days I'm going to do a video about them. I liked my college professors too. Some more than others, but I never had a problem with any of my professors. But I think it's because I've always been kind of, one, I've always really liked to learn, and I've always liked to show that I like to learn. So I'm a captive audience, and everybody likes that, especially if you're a teacher. You like your audience to be captive. Or, no, wait, captivated, not captive. you do. I don't know. But I really liked it. I learned so much. I don't apply it, but I learned so much. That's no reflection on the professors. That's a reflection on me. You know, I don't know what else to do with the background, you guys. Oh, I love how that turned out. Gonna rub it. So when you see something you like, you touch it. No, you don't. Don't. Get permission from it first. Oh yeah, I was gonna... I need to do this. I think I might try. Well, let's see what happens. First, let's see what happens, because that's colored pencil. Don't ruin your picture, folks. Or you'll have to find a way to fix it. Oh, this is my water for that. Look how thick that is. Look how thick she is. I don't even know what that was. I don't know. Don't know what I want to do. I'm gonna do it anyway. Let's test it. Didn't really get an whatever. I think I may paint her hair too, because I mean I like the colored pencil on there, but I think it needs to be a little darker black. I'm kind of whispering. I shouldn't be whispering. I should be talking into the microphone. Does that look okay? Oh, you know, I may just stop looking at the picture and just start looking at the recording, because I can't, the light, it's so shiny. It's not matte, it's shiny, it's glossy. So I can't really see what I'm doing, so I guess I'll just watch. No, that's not a good idea either. Oh yeah, I think that'll dry okay. I have to be very careful when I'm up in the corners and up by the line. Be very careful. Yeah, I really like that local store we went to that has, excuse me, that has that other type of ink. Some of the stuff was more pricey than online, but some of it, like that ink, was a really good deal. We did price it. And so I do like to support that which is local. But it's not always possible. Sometimes we don't have the time to go out and leave. I mean, it's not that far from... We don't actually live in St. Louis, but St. Louis is kind of within driving distance of where we're at. But we don't always have time to go there, so sometimes it's just easier and cheaper to order it. Would be interesting to see if that's any better or worse for the environment. I don't know if anyone's done any studies on that. Oh, this is looking hot. I like this. I like that. I love to paint with ink. I just like ink, you guys. I've got a problem. Been watching the 3rd season of Stranger Things. The first episode, I was suspect. I was like, oh my gosh, everybody's in love with each other. This is going to be a terrible season. And I also was not too fond of the 2nd season. That first season, you guys, it was so scary. It was so awesome. But then the 2nd season, I feel, did fall prey to 80s syndrome, which is off. I mean, it's gonna happen because it's based, it's supposed to look like the 80s. But we kept watching it, and wow, it's getting. We're a couple episodes in, maybe 3 or 4 or 5, and it's getting pretty good. It's an hour long though, so we've been kind of interspersing that with an anime called Megalobox, which has been awesome. We're big fans of Cowboy Bebop. My partner's not. I am the anime nerd. I am the one who likes anime and manga. He likes animes that, quote unquote, aren't trying to be animes. So, he really liked Bebop, Samurai Champloo. We both really liked. But this Megalobox is not by the same creator of Bebop or Champloo, and it's pretty good. I like it because it's about this guy from the slums trying to rise up and prove himself within a boxing ring, which is oftentimes the story of boxers. Um, there's a really, I don't know how I feel about boxing though, because I read that Invisible Man. I didn't read the whole book. I read Battle Royale, and it really had an impact on me. So I don't know how I feel about boxing. I guess maybe it's improved since like the 60s, but I don't know. And of course then, I had a big Bob Dylan phase, and I was listening, to songs like Who Killed Davy Moore? Why and what's the reason for? I can't sing. Neither can he though, so that's why everybody sings Dylan, because you don't have to be able to sing Dylan. But yeah, so I don't really know much about boxing or what my opinion on real boxing is. I always kind of thought it was a bit dangerous since, you're hitting each other in the head. But then I watched something like the Mike Tyson mystery, then I'm like, God, this is amazing. I don't watch it very often. We watched it when we were on vacation because there's nothing else on when when we were traveling. We actually don't have TV. I mean, like, we have a TV and we watch shows, but we don't have like cable or satellite or anything like that. And we don't generally get the time to watch a lot of TV just because, he has projects that he likes to work on, and then I have projects that I like to work on, so we're usually too busy, but I do make time for anime and different stuff like that. I've watched Steven Universe like 2 or 3 times. I want to buy the DVDs for like all of them. I don't know where to get them at, really. I haven't really looked that hard. I should look into that because when I like something, I like to support it. I'm not saying that I don't. No, I have my mom record, or I had my mom record the movie. That's how I saw the movie. I'm not going to talk about how I saw the rest of the series. But I would rather actually support the artists and the show, so I'd like to get a hold of those DVDs, but I need to get off my butt and look for them. We are still trying to downsize, though, also, so I'm torn between wanting things and also not wanting things. Can you tell him I'm recording?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't know what he said, but
I didn't hear it either. I thought that he was going to go through my headphones, but then he didn't.
Oh, sorry. Sorry. I'm gonna be done soon, honey. I'm almost done.
Okay.
I'm totally gonna lead this whole conversation into.
Okay.
Sorry. Sorry.
I guess we break up the music.
Exactly. Oh shoot! Drag. I gotta get in between there. I shouldn't have done that part yet, you guys. I shouldn't have done the cute the little glitters. I love glitter. I mean, I like the way glitter looks. Oh, fudge it. Forget it. I'll just redo it. Whatever. Whatever. Whatever, clever. I don't know what that's from. I don't know if that's from anything. don't want to do the background. There's nothing I want to do for the background. I hate backgrounds. The one that I did online, which I'll have a version of that. I'll pop it up on the screen. Boop. Well, does that fit in it? I don't know. But the version that I did online, I have like a circle back there. Maybe I should do that. This is gonna have to dry first, though. Oh man, a while back I bought this a long time ago, like a couple years ago. A long time ago, maybe like 5 years ago, maybe 3 or 5. I got this circle tool. Oh man, it's amazing, but I gotta wait for that to dry. Well, okay, I've been on here long enough. This is a long frickin' video. I don't know who's gonna watch it. But that's it. I will pop up the final version of it on screen. I colored this. I drew this in 18, but I'm coloring it in 19. Thank you guys so much for watching this long ramble. Maybe you learned something, maybe you didn't. I might go through and just thicken up the lines a bit to kind of... What I'll do is I will take a pen and I might fix things up that way, you know. Although that's colored pencil, that may not work. We'll see. But I'll put a finished version up at the end of the video. I want to thank you for watching. If you like the video, like it, subscribe, do the bell thing. If you want to do all that, please do. Support the channel. I got a Patreon, all that jazz. Actually, no, the Patreon's more for my comic. But I mean, if you want to support me there. Yay, that's fine. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. And peace and love. Fare you well. Keep on trucking. Peace.